I'm pleased to be joined by Representative Liz Cheney. Representative Cheney, how are you doing today?
I'm great, Will. Thank you for having me. Good to be with you.
What was your response to the result of that land leasing ban case last week that was decided in the District Court of Louisiana? What do you think it means for the state of Wyoming?
Well, I was really pleased to see the judge rule the right way and make clear that there are real questions about, the permissibility of the Biden administration imposing a ban on all oil and gas leasing on public lands. We know certainly how damaging from a policy perspective that kind of a ban is for us in Wyoming. And we know how important it is that we're able to get access to those resources, not just because they power the nation, which they do, and we're very proud of that, but also because it makes such a difference for our communities. And so I think the judge affirmed that, when you've got these leases that have been signed and when you've got, the applications for permit to drill that these companies have secured, and in some instances they're looking for exceptions for those. You really cannot, as an executive branch, just simply come in and say we're going to institute a ban across the board. So it was the right decision from a legal perspective and the right decision from a policy perspective. We're working. I just was yesterday working with representatives of a number of the companies in Wyoming to talk about what that means and how we make sure that decision now gets translated into action, on behalf of the agencies, so that we can, these companies can move forward, can have confidence that their APDs are going to be extended, and certainly hope that this will mean the end of the ban itself.
Are you prepared to go forward in case it's not the end of the ban and continue to fight for Wyoming citizens and their livelihoods for some of the people that have spent their lives working in the oil fields and coal mines?
Yeah, absolutely. And I think, look, we have to assume it won't be the end of the ban. We have to assume that there will be appeals. We have to assume that those people who support the ban will look for ways that they can, litigate on the other side of this issue. It's going to be an ongoing fight.
What are some other issues that maybe your constituents should be looking forward to?
All of the issues around energy are ones that are going to be at the forefront. We really are fighting against a push towards the Green New Deal, fighting against, new taxes, new incentives that the Biden administration is trying to push that will disadvantage fossil fuels in a way that we certainly can't support and have to fight against. A lot of focus on the ag industry as well. One of the other pieces of legislation I've introduced would allow the sale across state lines of meat that's processed in a state processing facility, so long as the state processing facility has been approved by the USDA. And so we'll be looking for ways that we can make sure that Wyoming agriculture has the support that it needs. Across the board, I'm afraid we're going to see a number of places where the Biden administration is going to try to reverse the policies of the Trump administration and they'll put forward legislation that will expand government control over these key areas. On the defense side of things, we actually just had a hearing this morning with Secretary of Defense and the Chairman of the Joint Chiefs. One of the big topics at that hearing was the new replacement for the Minuteman missiles that are at Warren Air Force Base.
And how important is that to have that missile system in Cheyenne, in the state of Wyoming? How important is that to have it in F.E. Warren and to be most up to date?
Well, Warren Air Force Base and the role that we're able to play with respect to the land-based leg of the nuclear triad is just crucial. And one of the real standout characteristics that helped us be able to secure the first deployment of GBSDs at Warren is the relationship between the base and the community. It's a really special relationship. Obviously, Cheyenne is very supportive of the base and of the people who work on the base and who live there. And so I think it's very important. And I think both for us in Wyoming, but also nationally, when you look at what our adversaries are doing in terms of their modernization of their nuclear forces, what the Chinese are doing and what the Russians are doing, it's really important for the country.